Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is B.fleye Beauty, and today we're doing some Halloween crafts. Now, I really wanted to do, let me show you, paper mache bucket. I'm still gonna do that, but it did not make it into this video. So I have a witch broom using things that I've already had around the house, and with just like only purchasing a couple of things from like Dollar Tree and stuff. And then I have a kind of a redo, something that a friend had that she was giving away. So I only purchased a couple things from Dollar Tree, reworked it, made it look completely different. And I might actually, I'll leave that up. So basically my friend gave me two of these little black pumpkins, just like the little plastic ones with the little cheap battery light. Took all those lights out. I did one with like a paint and style change. And then I did one where I used clay and paint. So I'm gonna show you the one with just the paint. And then we did a fun thing with our dog Noodle. Oh yeah, and I made little ghosties with vintage estate sale find doilies because we don't really use those much anymore. Anyway, let's get started. There's gonna be a lot of voiceover and then I'll show you everything at the end. Okay, so here I have a couple of things. I have one of the orange styrofoam pumpkins from Dollar Tree, some black chalk paint, and then you can either grab baking powder or baking soda. I personally like the, I believe it's the powder better, but this is the soda, or vice versa. One is a little bit more like sand and one is a little bit of a thicker powder, which maybe that's the baking powder. You're going to mix all of that together until you get the consistency that you want. And this is what's going to create the terracotta feel. When you're working on styrofoam, you do tend to have to go thicker or quite a few layers. I definitely would not do spray paint here because it will definitely suck that right up and you will use way more than you need to. This is a very nice mixture of paint to use on styrofoam because it really changes the surface of the actual item. And then what you'll do at the end is, as when it's almost completely dry, is you'll put more of that powder or that soda to give some of the, so that the white kind of sticks to that paint and it gives you more of a stone look. I grabbed this hat from Dollar Tree and it's one of the tinsel items. These items make great bases for other things. So I'm going to take all the tinsel off here. It's kind of a pain in the butt at first until I figured out where the start was. Ended up getting some scissors. Do not hurt yourself. So once I got all the tinsel off, I grabbed some jute, which you can actually also get at Dollar Tree. And I just started wrapping that around. I do think that it is beneficial to put a tiny bit of hot glue at the very top, and then every couple of times you go around the object to keep it in place, because mine ended up, I did wrap it very tightly, but by the end, some of it was kind of layered a little difficult, like it was like layered on top of itself and didn't look as smooth as it could. Not that jute is supposed to look smooth, but you guys know what I'm saying. So put a little drop of hot glue every couple times you go around the object, and then you'll glue it down at the end. As you can see, I had not completely finished, but that's what the stone pumpkin looks like once you add all of the powder on top. It's nice to use like a fluffy brush for that, and it'll grip onto the paint. And then I'm using what I made to be a little hat on top of this pumpkin. So kind of a vintage party look. I realized that it needed some trim, so I put some a bright orange pipe cleaner around, and then an orange ball at the top, as you'll see here.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the witch broom here. I basically have this big piece of tree that I have stripped and cleaned up properly, and I use it for decor every year and almost every season. So I'm just going to make this a temporary and put one of these cinnamon brooms on each side of the bottom and then just add some florals. So we're gonna do that now. All right, so I got the two together here. We're gonna add some florals. I ended up putting them both on the same side because it wasn't working to put one on each side because the branch is just way too thick for that. So I have some freshly dried, whatever those are called. And I have some real dried pampas grass, and then I have some Dollar Tree faux florals. So we're gonna play around with these and see what we can craft up. Okay, I'm basically just sticking the florals through the, what is this called? The twine, yeah, whatever this is. I cannot think of words right now, but, so we have this kind of going on so far. I'm gonna add in a couple more things. We have these lavenders and these purple businesses, and then we'll try to add more twine on top. I do like color in my stuff, so I'm not trying to shy away from that, but I'm trying to keep it more fall related, I guess. All right, this is what we got. We're gonna put some more twine around all of this and call it a day.
We have our little ghosties, and I am using a mix of 2 parts Mod Podge to 1 part water. And the Mod Podge I had, as you're going to see here, I did not have enough. I kind of had to scrape, but I think I eyeballed it pretty well because they turned out pretty good. So this is a 4th cup and it barely fit. So I ended up putting water inside of the Mod Podge container and mixing it all together, shaking it up and pouring some more in. You definitely want more of the glue than the water. So 2 parts glue to 1 part water. Highly recommend putting this in a plastic bowl, maybe from Dollar Tree, or a metal bowl, something like that. Then you're going to, once it's mixed up, dip in your items, whether they're doilies like mine, a sheet, whatever you want. You're going to make sure it's thoroughly coated, kind of like you're washing your hair. So make sure you get in all the crevices, and then you're going to squeegee it off. It kind of felt like milking a cow for a moment. Then you're going to put it over a small blown up balloon. And this took me a while to figure out my container balloon situation, because when you blow up the balloon, the biggest is when it becomes the perfect round ball. The smaller it is, the more misshapen it is. So I kind of had to go back and forth between different balloons, blowing up different balloons, tying them differently, and finding different bases, because my doilies are small. So I couldn't have a huge cup, or you wouldn't have the material fall around the cup and make the base of the ghost properly. Because you do want it to touch down on something, unless, you might not want to, but I wanted it to actually touch down on the table so that when it's dry, it'll sit down on something and I won't have to make sure it sits on a stand or something like that. I want it to be freestanding. Once you do that, you let it dry overnight and it becomes hardened. I actually let it dry for a couple of days. And then I just got some felt pieces from Dollar Tree, and I'm gluing those on as the eyes and the nose. I will say you probably should wear the finger protection here because I definitely burned myself quite a bit. When you're working with a doily, it was also a little challenging to find where to put the eyes and nose since there's so many holes. But with the glue being so hard, you could kind of overlap some of the empty space and it still worked. So here they are, all completed. They're hardened, and this is what I mean. I wanted them to be freestanding because if I didn't want to put a light underneath, I wanted them to stand. Oh my gosh, so cute. And these are the only lights I had around, so these are not the perfect light, but it's what I had and I didn't want to buy anything else.
Spooky. Look at this little ghost we found. He's trying to... Spooky. Look at this little ghost we found. He's trying to... He came out of the grave.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed my very affordable craft Halloween situation this year. I really tried to use a lot of things that I had already had and not spend too much money. And hopefully I'll have another one for you with the paper mache, and maybe I'll show you the pumpkin where I did the clay as well. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know down below what you created this year, and I'll see you next time. Bye.